What's going on, brother? You all right? Still waiting for your audio. Hold on 1 second. It's got to connect to your audio.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, cool. I was like the real Black Dynamite. There we go.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
everything and nothing, fam. Just shoot, man. Been on the phone all day.
Yep.
Trying to get this press up, man, for this song, man.
Yeah, how's that coming along for you?
Actually, pretty good. I once I got the word out, I had a small magazine, do some print. They was like, "Oh, really? Then you serious?" So people started downloading it.
Right. Right.
Then I got an interview tomorrow. Then I have an interview next Wednesday, and they both with podcasts, but better than nothing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's getting some legs under it. I'm hoping I can get a good amount of downloads, and hopefully get the song put in a couple films or something. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good luck
So,
with that, brother.
thank you, fam. Thank you,
No,
thank you.
I know. I know how that life is, man. It is a hard life, man. I dedicated a lot of years to it. It is hard, man. It is.
It's fickle, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It's definitely fickle, and yeah, it's like everything else. I mean, you can have a world of talent, but it's either right place, right time, or connections, or who you know, or So it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, yeah, I'm working on it. I'm gonna see if my homegirl can get to Live Qualita listen to it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, she signed to his label, so
yeah,
I ain't trying to get signed, but I'm like, yo, have my man listen to this and have him send it. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Because I mean, the reality of it is, man, you got to get it into the right people's ears.
Yep.
Like you was just saying, and then ain't the time ain't no time to waste.
Mm.
So we about to shoot the video for it probably in the next couple weeks,
Okay.
and we do this video right, man. We own.
Well, now is the time because you have a captive audience in the world. I mean,
Hmm.
nobody's doing anything and everybody's at home and people are either watching television or on social media more than they've ever been before.
Facts.
So, I mean,
Facts.
the excuse of I don't have the time, I'm busy. I mean, all of those things are out the window right now. And I mean, right now the world is your captive audience and stage. So
Yes.
this is the time to be able to do it. I mean, between these kids and people on TikTok, man, and all this other type of social media stuff, man. Right now,
Yeah.
people looking for something to watch, people looking for something to listen to, they're looking for something to do.
They've
So
been trying to get me on the TikTok, man. I'm like, nah, B, like, it's some shit I can do, some shit I ain't really built for.
yeah.
They're like, do this dance. Nah, man, that ain't.
All right, we got Thomas in the
You
house.
see, I can't even look you in the eyes and say like,
Yeah, right. Gotta look off to the side.
I can't be doing no dance to this shit.
What's up, boy? Oh, we gotta wait for your audio. We gotta wait for your audio to load. Just give it a second. All right, there you go.
You on there?
Unmute your camera. You're muted. Unmute.
There you go. Look at the glasses, looking
There it
all
is.
astute.
What's up, boy?
Yeah.
What up, though? I see both of y'all, though. I see one at a time.
You gotta swipe the camera over. Like I can see both of y'all. You gotta
I
swipe.
can
Okay,
see.
there we go. There we go.
Can you see us both
Yeah.
now?
I can see both of y'all. You in the middle.
Okay.
Hey, Isaiah, hold up. Let me make this make sense.
It's an Isaiah sandwich.
That's because that's because I'm the host. I'm the host as far as the meeting thing goes. It's under my account.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
I think this will be better. Right now, I'm recording this, so
Perfect.
what's cool about Zoom is I was telling Book, it's free only if you're gonna do like 40 or 45 minutes, but I pay $15 a month, and then I got like an unlimited amount of time that we can use or whatever, and then it lets you record all the sessions too. And after I record it, I can send it to you guys, and you guys can have copies for yourself or whatever to do whatever you want. So I like using this because we can see each other, we can feed off each other's energy. You know what I'm saying? It looks more like an actual television show, or like a podcast by us being able to interact this way versus us being on the phone and getting distracted. I think this is better.
For sure. For sure. I gotta get my background better though. Book got like sunshine and shit, leather couch.
I know, man. This guy looking like a damn. He got it well lit in the back. You know what I'm saying? You know, got the movie star look like he on the casket couch and shit. You know what I'm saying? In the green room.
I can't even show y'all I can't show y'all my view, man. Y'all might get mad at me and shit.
Oh my God.
I ain't mad. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Man.
I already know what his shit look like. He in Vegas, so I know it's about, what is that, like 80 something degrees out there? 90?
It's supposed to be 90 today.
About to be 90, B. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's nice out there, man.
It was 75 yesterday, and today is fucking 50.
I saw that. I got it on my I got it on my phone because, you know, I'm back and forth so much. So every time I look at the weather here, I look at the weather in Detroit. I'm like, man, how is it 75? I'm talking about grilling. Then the next day, boy, it'd be 55 degrees. Man, what the hell going on? It's supposed to be spring.
It's too much foolishness. No consistency.
Nope.
Just like the Lions, no consistency.
Right. Yeah, they looking good, man. They always look good going into a 4-12 year every year. Man. They look great.
I could really see 8-8, 9-7 though. Real talk. That's about the best I could see. That's a topping out at 9-7. That's the best I see us doing.
That's fair.
Which would be a massive improvement.
It would be. It would be.
Yeah.
That schedule coming out though, so we about to see. They about to drop the schedule. So
yeah, hopefully we can get back to. I don't care if it got fans there or not. I just want to be able to watch something.
God, dog.
I never thought. I mean, you would have never been able to convince me that there would be a time. You know what I mean? That there would be no sports on television and no interacting with individuals. I mean, you talk about post-apocalyptic type stuff, dude. I mean, it's not even real. It's not going to be real until like another 5 years from now. When we sit and we look at it, you can't appreciate what we're going through right now. It doesn't seem real. It's just like you just living right now. We just surviving. It's like, well, this ain't shit. We just living. But 5 years from now, you're gonna be like, did that shit really happen?
Yeah, when you see the toll it exacted.
You couldn't go outside. Everybody you knew was passed away, getting sick or dying. And when they did have sporting events, there was nobody allowed to be in the building. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, because WrestleMania was not it.
Oh my God.
That fucked me up. WrestleMania really fucked me up. Like I had never. It's odd watching WrestleMania without the pops of the crowd and the
word.
Yeah, and the booing or the cheering, like that needed. Like it was like watching a fucking Charlie Chaplin fucking wrestling event or something. Like that shit was totally crazy.
Can't do it.
What's gonna be dope is in a couple years the content that comes out of this. I can't wait to see the first movie that's about this time period.
Yeah, sure.
And about like things that went on, or like what I mean, how they make a movie or
Netflix already working on it.
Oh, for real?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
they own it. They like, oh, something happening in documentary. It's over. They be on it, bro.
Besides just a whole life is different, but like I said, I probably haven't read this much since I was in school.
Yeah.
Like I haven't read this much stuff like since I was in school. Like I think I wrote like Malcolm X biography. Like I had read it before, but I just like fuck, I'm gonna read this again. Like you know what I mean? Like Andre Iguodala got a cool little book. I be like breezing through it. I'll share it with y'all too. I got it upstairs. Andre Iguodala got a real cool book. Like so you know what I mean? I be reading to the kids. Then I'm just like I said, their mama, she just been on this like homeschooling shit like so crazy. And I'm just like, this really what's up. Black people really need to be on this anyway. Like this what we really need to do. Like supporting, caring, like you know what I mean, teaching, really being involved. It slowed everybody down and made people realize like the smart ones of us made us realize like what we really should be appreciating and what we really should be paying attention to. Like of course the other side of us, you know what I mean? Like I like to think of us as the like y'all remember from Django, like the 10% of
the exceptional niggas.
Like we the exceptional niggas.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? The other at my old job or whatever, I told these two white dudes that like I'm not like the rest of these niggas, man. Like I told them that flat out. They was upper management too. Like I was so out of pocket. Like I was like, I'm an exceptional nigga, bro. Then they was looking at me like they just couldn't wrap their mind around like what is this guy talking about? Like I'd never heard Thomas. Like they made Tom from the hood come out like I've never seen Mr. Walker talk like this. Like, I'm being Tom at this point because they had pissed me off one day, and I just really had to let them know, like, look, man, like, I come here, I act like I got sense, I sit in meetings, and but some of the shit y'all be doing, bro, that ain't cool, bro. And they just like they was confused, like, well, what do you mean? It's like some of the stuff, like how y'all talk about, like y'all got Trump posters plastered around all through here, like, bro, we got a lot of Latinos work here, a lot of black people work here, like that shit is like intimidation almost. Like y'all might as well just put swastikas up on the wall, and they just couldn't understand it. Like you know what I mean? They just couldn't wrap their mind around it.
Political affiliations are something that should never be brought into business or religion.
Agreed.
Anyway.
Exactly.
I stay away from those things. When I have my school, I stayed away from those things. I wouldn't even discuss those things. I wouldn't broach those conversations. Now, if I was having an individual meeting with like a parent and they brought up something about religion or something like that, we start talking about praying or something like that. That was in my office behind closed doors after they brought it up. But under no circumstances will I ever talk about, what my what my political viewpoints are or what my religious beliefs are, because those things don't have a place in the workplace. And it is a form of it's a form of silent intimidation, because what you're doing is you're like, well, this is where I stand. Yep. You know exactly where I'm at. So, right. It's like it's a way of forcing or pressuring you without saying anything. Well, you're free to believe or vote whoever you want. Well, yeah, but you got all of this propaganda all around the building. You know what I'm saying? And if I believe that you support this person and I believe that this person views in which I don't support, you know what I'm saying, then it's making me feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like under no circumstances could I be cool with a nigga that's a child molester, right? Like that's all of us probably.
Right.
So Trump is openly talking about grabbing women by the pussy. Like you would assume, like, if you're cool with his views, like your views fall in line with that.
Right.
Like you would just assume that.
Right.
Just like if I married a woman that's a Muslim, like we probably would be Muslims then, because like how else would it work? Like we've aligned ourselves together, so you kind of share those beliefs slightly, or at least you're gonna tolerate it some.
It's a dogmatic support though. When you sit up there and you start posting, flags or flyers or information around the place, that's you dogmatically supporting this person. It would be different if you like, well, I don't think he's a bad guy, I'll support some of his viewpoints. Me supporting some of somebody's viewpoints isn't going to be enough to get me to sit there and plaster all around my building or facility, all type of, media things and things that support this person. I'm just gonna be like, I don't think you're that bad. If a guy, I can rock some of the stuff that he's talking about. But once you start putting stuff up, you know what I mean? That means that you're like a fan. Like you wearing a hat because you're a fan. You wearing the jersey because you're a fan. You know, be like, well, I like one of the players, or I like some of the guys. It's like, no, I really rock with these guys. If I went and got the shoes, the shorts, the jersey, the hat, you know what I'm saying? I must rock with these guys. So it's I'm not gonna put stuff up and then say I only support a portion of what they believe. You're right. If you got that stuff all around, plastered around your facility, your views have to wholeheartedly fall in line with what this person's talking about the entire time. So I have to look at you some kind of way, because if that ain't what I believe, and you look like that you supporting this person openly, then that's got to be what you believe.
Hey, I like this podcast already, man. I've been
we just started here.
I'm just saying, man. Like y'all just started getting it popping already, man. I love this shit.
Yeah. Me and Isaiah been arguing since we was kids. Like we a lot alike. Then we totally opposite. Just like Leo. Like I was talking to you about Leo. Like me and Leo are a lot alike, but then we're polar opposites at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it's certain stuff me and Isaiah bond with, and then it's certain stuff like when he would spend a night with Leo, like they bonded totally different than, you know what I mean? But all three of us together share certain bonds together. It's just, and that's what's crazy about the whole thing. Like Isaiah bonded with Bob outside of me. They have shit to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like we all branched off and had our own connections all over the place. Like, and that's what's weird about the whole, I guess you could, I don't know, just the tree of friendship. I guess that was about the 6 degrees of separation with the friendships and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? So I always thought some of the things that we were involved in was made for a book maybe, or sitcom or TV, or just talking about the experiences, whether it be to let our sons know where we messed up at, or just for the entertainment value. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait till my sons get his son age so I can be telling them like, you know, your daddy back in the day was a cold piece of work with these young ladies. Even though they're not gonna believe me, because all they know is that you've been married to mama forever.
Right.
Just like him. That's the only way his son know him, is being married to his mama.
Right.
They don't know Isaiah previously to that, which is cool because kids shouldn't know you that way. But
right.
I know him, and I can be like, you know, I can't. I'm gonna tell you. I can tell you some stuff about your daddy now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those kind of situations. That's always been funny. You know, that's always funny stuff. Like, this a wild nigga right here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who? My dad? Like, this nigga wild. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my daughters already know, so. I had to school them because I told them, I'm like, man, y'all gonna have some dudes like me that's gonna come up on y'all, so let me just put y'all up on. You know, some shit y'all gonna have to learn on your own, but let me give y'all a general, you know, lay of the land. And now they be like, you know, little boys be like, you fine. They be like, I know.
Right.
Because they daddy been telling them they pretty their whole life, so it's not a shocking thing when another man shows them some attention or admiration. Now they not just so gone, like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? But y'all got cursed, though. Y'all got the little girls and, well, young women now, whatever. And, like, I'm glad I don't get that headache or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I was watching Insecure the other day, and the dude just had a newborn daughter, and he was like, man, I can't believe it. He was like, how is it having a daughter? He was like, man, it's fucked up. He was like, why? He was like, man, just to think in a few years, some little boy gonna be trying to finger fuck my daughter. And it's like
facts though. Like, those are real facts.
And I'm sitting there watching it like, okay, somebody get it, you know, but like,
how do you wrap your mind around that as a dad though? Like,
man,
that's what both of you are. Like, how do you wrap your mind around that though? Like, what? Like, you know what time it is when he say, let's go to the movies, to the 10 o'clock show. You know what time it is. Like, you feel me?
Well, I've been fortunate because we've been able to contain my daughter because we've been overprotective on accident. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, when I was in Michigan and I had my school, I mean, these kids rolling like the president. I mean, they get dropped off at the school at the front door. I leave, I go up to the school, and then when my mama was obviously here, she would pick them up from school. So I mean, literally, it was from home to school, from school to the karate school, in which they were there the whole day in a controlled environment. And then at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, when mom got off work, she came there, did some work at the school. They would get in the car and they would take it home. It's like Secret Service type of stuff. Like, they never interacted really with outside of either the parameters of the actual school or the karate school. And then on weekends we was together, either at tournaments or we spent time together as a family. And it was just kind of that cohesive unit. And she was always in trouble anyway on punishment. She never really her cell phone was always getting taken away from her. So, you know, so it was anything that you know that revolved around and dealt with her was for the most part innocent. Once we moved out here, there was a tremendous amount more freedom. And then I was able to actually start to see her character. Because it's easy to look like that you're a certain type of individual when you have all of this structure and these guidelines. You know what I mean? It's easy. It's like, oh, I have a good kid. I have a good wife. I have a good husband. I have a good boyfriend. Girlfriend. Yeah, because everything is, even like in jail. Like, oh, these prisoners, they seem like they align with one another because they have all these rules and structure. But the minute anything lapses, you get an opportunity to really see a person's character. And once we moved out here, it was different because I didn't have the school. You know what I mean? I was teaching in places, but I didn't have my own spot. So not having my own spot meant I didn't have a place for them to go and be at where I'm doing homework with them, where I'm watching them the whole day, where they're participating in classes, where they're around other positive individuals. So she started to get an opportunity to choose her own group of friends. And these individuals were not the best group of people. And they were around her because she has a leadership type of characteristic or quality. You know what I mean? But she also has some of that darkness in her as well. You know what I mean? So it was a good blend for these people. So they were able to hang with her, and she started getting, you know, in a lot more trouble than she probably would have gotten into before. But maybe she would have always gotten into trouble, but I wouldn't have known because she was always in a structured and controlled environment. So it's been more like a sociological experiment and process, learning her over these past few years. Where we're at here right now, you know, she's a little bit older now, so she's starting to mellow out, you know, a little bit more than she did before. But I mean, still, I mean, especially now with everything that's going on, we're in the house all day anyway. So whatever game you're picking on your phone, it's about as far as it's gonna go for the most part because it ain't really going nowhere past that.
But you got a star on your hand though, because she probably could easily have her own YouTube channel or like be a part of some kind of like sketch comedy show. Like I was watching that one video y'all put up and she's like dancing and like doing the different characters and all that stuff. I'm just like, wow, like I'm just thinking like that's crazy. Like cause
she got like 20. She got like 20,000 followers on Instagram. Now, mind you, this is an individual who over half of her life didn't have her phone. She was getting followers. She'd take her mom's phone, shoot something real quick, had her account or whatever, and just was getting followers with no phone. With no phone. You know, she just got her phone back like 2 weeks ago.
She's diligent, baby.
So she's working on her YouTube channel. She's got like she showed me something like 100,000 people on TikTok or 200,000 people on TikTok, like 20,000 followers on Instagram. So she loves that stuff, man. I mean, she literally puts on makeup, you know what I mean? Literally, and sits there in her room for about 6 or 7 hours shooting that stuff a day. Like she is committed to that. You know what I'm saying? Like committed, 100% committed.
That's dope.
Yeah. So
that's dope.
The videos y'all share are entertaining.
Her brother on the other end, nothing. I was like, help your brother out. If he gets big, you know what I mean, then he's gonna bring you along with him. Help him out. You know, he's like it's like nothing. It's like he barely posts anything. He's like, you know, I don't care. My dad.
It kind of seemed like IJ is Bruce Leroy and she's like Bruce Leroy's little brother in that movie, The Last Dragon. That's kind of like how it is. Like, you know what I mean? Because he's totally like kind of chill, reserved, and she's like, every time I talk to you, you like, dog, she off the chain. You just don't know, cuz like she is out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every time I talk to him,
Book. Dope though, man.
Every time, Book, he's telling me like, this child, I'm telling you, like, I don't know what's going on. I used to be like, man, come on, it can't be that bad. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, she's setting herself up for greatness, man. And it's self-driven.
He's got some
self-driven greatness.
Now, so he knows what I'm talking about, man. His kids is a trip.
Yeah, my kids are.
They are misfits, dude.
My kids are damn near the kids from Black as Fuck. The shit on Netflix.
Wyrd.
Yeah.
They damn near act. They think like I'm rich for some odd reason. I don't know why, but they be under the impression of some things, and I just be like, dude, like, you know, we work hard to have shit, like, and like this shit just doesn't fall out the sky for us.
Right.
Like people have to sacrifice and do things for this stuff.
Daddy got it.
I swear to God, like,
Daddy,
you know what I mean? Like we at restaurants.
And he gonna cook breakfast.
We at restaurants and kids are ordering fucking cowboy steaks, ribeye steaks and shit. And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? Well, Daddy, you always cook the steaks at the house. I know because it's because I'm getting them in a pack. We're at a restaurant. Fucking steak is $40, son. Like, relax, relax, my nigga. Like you doing way too much.
See, I gonna split that shit 3 ways. 5 ways.
Exactly. But at home, you go to the grocery store. Okay, yeah, I can throw you all you guys a steak on the grill and we can do our thing like that. But like, you know, they don't understand. Like, they eat ramen noodles and stuff because they just want to eat them. They don't know that it's kids out here for real. Like, that's really for dinner. Right. And you better not eat them before dinner because that's all you got today.
Facts.
Like, they don't get it. Like, they don't. I just went in their room and countered, like, and just was talking to them about stuff. Like, dude, like, no, y'all got like a 55-inch TV in your room. Like, we wonder why kids be acting weird when they come over here because people don't have these things. These things don't happen all the time. And luckily, we've been blessed and to have some things. So even when things got rough and tight, y'all didn't feel the burn of it. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all didn't feel none of that. Like, y'all just kept y'all life still the same. They don't know what's going on, like, when shit ain't.
I think that's important. And to be honest with you, I will give our parents credit for that. I think our parents did a pretty good job, or the best that they could, of making sure that when there was significant problems that was going on around the house, that it did not necessarily affect us for the most part.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've never came over your house and your shit didn't look like a fucking Gardner White showroom floor set.
Yeah,
I've never been to that nigga house and it's not looking like you're at a Gardner White showroom. Like, never ever in my life. Like you know what I mean? Like, and shit, he's been to my house and shit. We've always had stuff and go to the movies, go like to the store like with $20 each. Like, you know what I mean? Just all kind of stuff. And we lived in a bubble that wasn't normal because we wasn't into a lot of stuff that people was into when we was young. Like we didn't know. Like we grew up in the middle of the probably one of the worst parts of the East Side, down there in Chalmers and Kercheval and shit. People ain't supposed to make it from down there off Gray and Dickerson and Lenox and these places. Like people aren't supposed to make it out of there for real and make it to be this. We don't fit into no statistics. We're not a statistic.
No, not at all.
No.
We're not supposed to be alive.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Kanye West said, the joke's on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we still alive, when we 25. You know what I mean? I remember when that song came out, I thought that shit was funny, but once listening to the lyrics, you're like, wow, yeah. I remember being in 9th grade and they separated our 9th grade class. Was like, this many over here is gonna die, this many over here is gonna be pregnant, this many's going to prison, da 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 da.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you're like, wow, like this how high school is? Like it's fucked up. But I didn't fit into none of those things. Like I'm a nerd and don't even really know I'm a nerd. You know what I mean? Because I do nerdy shit, but I fit in with the cool people too.
Right.
Kind of uncomfortably, but then I figured out who I was by the time I was 25-ish, 26. Like I was really comfortable and secure, like with who Thomas was, because it's like different layers to me. Like you know what I mean? So it's hard to figure these things out. Like I'm smart too. I can really get in with these guys too, with like academic games and shit when I was in middle school and high school. But like, yeah, but I play basketball with these niggas over here too, and really get it in. Like you know what I mean? Like all over the place. You know, so in which I'm sure like this Isaiah, one of the smartest niggas I know. They got promoted when we was in fucking kindergarten, first grade. Right. I was like, that nigga went to Cass. Like I was so disappointed when that nigga got kicked out of Cass because I used to always brag about this nigga being like the smartest thing I know. I'm like, bro, what you doing at Denby? He told me that shit. I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it. Like, you know what I mean? Because this nigga was like almost like one of the most perfect niggas I knew. Like, and I don't say that being funny or nothing. I always tell that nigga he probably one of the more better people I know. Like, because that nigga like a good-hearted, good-souled individuals, and you don't run into a lot of niggas that's like that.
Man, I think I told you what was up initially when I'm like, where the hell you find him? Like, like this nigga's actually a good guy, like a real life good guy. Like,
right? Like if we were like the Avengers as little kids, for sure I'd be like Iron Man. He like Captain America.
Yeah.
Like that's how I could sum us up. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's a fucking general. Like things generally come from a good place.
Yeah,
my shit is sometimes a lot more. My shit is a lot more selfish a lot of time. And then my little brother's like the Hawk. Like you know what I'm saying? He just want to smash shit and just like he usually come to us for guidance when we were small.
Smash everything, then I'm gonna make some food and we gonna chill.
And then Leo's kind of like Wolverine. He's like a loner.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he's a part of the X-Men.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he's not part of the X-Men. He's off on his own, like shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't went off into, when Wolverine go fight Sabretooth in some, like, remote forest somewhere, shit like that. Yeah,
nigga be in upper Canada, like, the fuck?
Exactly,
like,
you know what I mean? So
how'd you get there in 24 hours, bro?
Right.
And getting the beef that quick. Like, yeah,
so
that's
it's just the different levels of shit. Like, it's wild. Like, I really wish, like, I don't know, like, I think a lot of these stories, that's why I asked you about the animated shit. Like, just the drives we had up Mound to fucking Joe Dumars could be, like, 20, 30-minute skit little comedy shows.
It kind of reminds you of Key and Peele when they would be driving and they would be in the car talking whatever to set up the next skit or whatever. It kind of reminds you of that. I mean, it was just those car rides, man, were epic, both there and back. But I mean, I think I think the reason that we're able to fit into so many different environments is it becomes as a product of where you grew up at. In order to survive, you had to be like a chameleon. I mean, you couldn't be one guy. If you was just the nerdy guy, you know what I mean, it was an issue. And you're gonna be pointed out, you're gonna be bullied, you was gonna be, ostracized, you're gonna be made fun of, you know what I mean? And if you was just the sports guy, the guy that was hooping or playing football or whatever, you was gonna miss out on being able to enjoy your childhood and some of those nerdy things that you enjoy doing. You know what I mean? But you had to be both to be cool enough to get the women, to be able to fit in with both people, and just to be able to survive. So
sure.
The guys that I hang out with, they were that. They were able to adapt, regardless. I mean, they would hang around gangs, but not being, what I mean? They hang around all the guys from the Crips or whatever, the Blood, those they boys, but never was in the game. That was me, to grab my back like I was in the game. You know what I mean? Man, I'm like, you with them, these my boys. Yeah, they Crips. I'm not in the gang, though. They know, anytime there's gang activity and meetings, I'm over here, but they got my back just the same. I'm hanging out with guys that like to play video games all day and read comic books. That's all they like to do. And I'm having a great time with these guys, but we over here with it. And then, I got to go outside. We got to hoop. We got to play baseball. We got to play touch football on the street or pick them up, fuck them up, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. We
man.
get all of it, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why we're able to be the individuals that we are. We probably were able to get out or be the exception, because of the fact that we were able to be able to adapt and be like a chameleon. So around these different groups of people, we all had a part of us that had those characteristics that were able to be genuine, not fake. You genuinely were able to bond with those various groups of individuals. You didn't have to feign it. You didn't have to fake it and act like you like the video games or the anime or whatever. You didn't have to act like you like the hoop. These were things that they were all broken up different sections of you that you genuinely enjoyed all of them. You know what I mean? But you were able to actually distribute that, amongst different groups of people. So I think that's what made the difference.
I love the fact that I can hoop, go scoop up a whole bunch of niggas that was doing other shit, and go downtown drinking Special Lab brews, get into some shit, and then leave and go watch Fist of the North Star.
Right.
Right. Like that, like it's not a lot of people that can sit up there and say that they 24 hours could be that fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then go home and do the dance from off Purple Rain at the time did with your siblings and shit. Like, not a lot of niggas that can say that shit, man. And that was like a day-to-day for me, man. Like, I could pull up in that van with MC Hammer bumping down the block and niggas like, here come Book, man. Just, like.
Right.
Because I ain't give a fuck. None of us did to an extent. It was like, whatever.
I can say that about you two guys, too, though. Y'all dudes was thoroughly y'all, like, before I ever realized, like, probably who I was, for real. Like, y'all was always y'all. Like, I was always kind of like, when I'm with Leo, like, I'm forced to listen to his East Coast music and, like, Redman and Wu-Tang. And, like, then when I'm with him and Isaiah, like, we watching Kickboxer and fucking Bloodsport and things of these natures that I do find interesting. But if I wasn't with them, I probably wouldn't be watching it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, we all kind of, got well-rounded. And then, like I said, I was always friends, like, with Bob and, like, Nev and these guys too also. So I would go do other stuff that Leo would be like, nah, I ain't fucking with them niggas. But
so
which was cool.
You just said something, Thomas. So you said well-rounded. How can we take that and make that into something that people can identify with and connect to, that create a successful podcast? You know what I'm saying? Because I think well-rounded is a very good term. Maybe not the title of it or nothing, but I mean, I don't, but I think it's a very good term that really expresses like what we collectively bring to the table, even though there's differences and the same different amount of differences, there's similarities. But how can we produce something that's well-rounded to where people can connect and identify with it and be willing to chime in?
This is true. I think because if you ever pay attention, like when me and you, Book, we rarely on the Facebook get into like heated back and forth. But me and this guy over here with the hat on,
yep, we do.
We get into shit all the time. Like now somebody that's reading it and don't know us, they might not know.
They think
better.
It's a war. They think it's a war.
Right, but this is my guy. Like he godfather of my kids and shit. Like they don't know like the history. So sometimes it might look like these niggas don't really fuck with each other. Like they totally different. But a lot of times, sometimes when he say stuff, he type a fucking 3-page fucking soliloquy. I'll just say some bullshit because I know he gonna respond with another 3-page fucking soliloquy. And I'm just like, this nigga just want to just keep on going with this shit. So fuck it, I'm gonna entertain it. And it might not even be necessarily exactly how I feel, but at this point, like I'm just like shit. I'm just devil's advocate in the whole situation.
Right.
Because I might be at work or I might just be shit. This my guy. Like we done spend a lot of time together. We don't get time to spend together no more. Like really, because we in 2 different places. So okay, well fuck it. We spending time. Like we fucking around with each other, talking shit. Like he's talking about his Warriors. I'm like, you know what I mean? Fuck the Warriors. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just go against them. I'm gonna just go against them 100%. You know what I mean? Like fuck it. I don't like shit about the Warriors. Just for his statuses only, though. Really, like you know what I mean? When he puts them up against the Warriors, I don't got nothing positive to say about just because. Like you know, I'm just fucking with it. This is my guy. Like you know what I mean?
I think what's important is that we broach this where like we are the ones that are attacking or we're all on social media quite a bit, you know, on Facebook or whatever, Instagram. So we understand the hot button topics, and what gets people to tune in to anything is when people are willing to discuss those things in open forum and be genuine about it. You don't have to be diplomatic. You don't have to be professional. And a lot of people want to discuss these things, but they're afraid to because of all the backlash they're going to get from the people in their timeline, from their friends, from their family. So what you do is you get those issues, you look at those, and you can spend a day on Facebook. I mean, you can do that honestly daily and come up with questions, just scrolling down your timeline. All of us have hundreds or thousands of friends on Facebook, and you can just look at those and grab those topics where it's inflammatory, where people are going back and forth and it's uncomfortable, and then you bring those things on the show, and then you put them on the show, and then you tag people in it, and then at that point in time, we the ones brought it up. You know, we the ones brought it up. So now they want to we've opened the door for people to chime in on it, and it's always going to be politics. It's always going to be race. It's always going to be religion, and it's always going to be sexuality. Those are the things that will always be able to get, you know, individuals engaged. And then sports, obviously. A little bit harder now with there not being any sports, but a lot of the fantasy matchups and with the Bulls thing that they had, the Last Dance thing that they're going, is people want to engage in that. So if you can have those 5 as a topic on every single show, sports, politics, religion, race, and sexuality, if your topics revolve around those 5 things, you will have so many people engaged, you know, it's just not even funny, because those are always hot button issues and topics. And that's what you have to make. And those are the things that are uncomfortable for people to talk about, but people want to talk about. People want to engage in this particular thing. You know, people want to engage in hearing about, you know what I'm saying, you know, homosexuality, how it's so all of a sudden prevalent. It's trendy now. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, we grew up, man. We grew up together. I mean, we grew up around so many people. There wasn't that many damn gay people. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro.
Stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro.
It elevates your platform. Don't fuck around and be a minority and gay. Man, elevate your platform on another level. Those are things that we need to talk about. Religion. Why are you a Christian? Because your parents were? Why are you a Muslim? You don't know why. You just came up and you supported this religion like it was your favorite sports team. You don't know why you're a Lions fan. You was a Lions fan because your father was one and you live in Detroit. They lose, they raise your blood pressure up every damn year, but yet and still you keep on tailgating and going to the games and watching them when you can watch any other team in the you know, NFL. These are the things that we need to make sure that we revolve around, and just I think that we are genuine individuals. So it's always gonna come from a genuine place. It's not gonna be a form where we have to feel like we have to choose our words, especially with this guy right here with the glasses. I mean, he come off the hip with that boy, you know, like Yosemite. Man,
Thomas be throwing some shit on the table.
He got both barrels out there just shooting these boys.
Thomas be throwing some shit on the table. He be diabolical as fuck too.
Yeah,
I don't know how in under a minute, man. Your ass be like, well, shit, man, I said this because I thought it would trigger this, and then I did, so I said this too, and, you know, fuck it. It basically went how I wanted it to go. Like, nigga, it was only 45 seconds.
Right.
I think that's the whole Gemini shit. Like that's what, if you want to look at it like that, these are 2 of my favorite artists probably in the history of the world, like fucking Tupac and R. Kelly. When you listen to their music, they're so far both ways. Like that's me in a nutshell. Like, yeah, I'm keep your head up too, but I'm also hit them up at the same time. Like I'm with R. Kelly music. I'm like, I believe I can fly, but I'm also feeling on your booty too. Like I'm that person all in one person. Like, yeah, I want to respect people's daughters and shit, and get married and respect people. But I also wouldn't mind going to an after hour and watching a bitch put a 40-ounce bottle on her pussy either. Like, it sounds crazy now, but we grew up doing these things.
Right.
Yeah.
These are realistic. Like, I wouldn't advise my kids to go to some of the things, but I know along their journey they're gonna find things because you got to figure out shit, what's
I don't
what.
need my kids I don't need them seeing none of this shit I saw. Fuck that.
Yeah, but you can't
Ugh,
keep them.
shit.
Our parents tried to keep us from everything. They didn't tell it like I couldn't go outside the gate when we lived on Charmers for a long time. But some way we managed to get out the yard every day and go around and
I think as adults we realized that we had a lot more freedom as kids than we gave ourselves credit for.
Man, good
we didn't
God.
feel like we had that much freedom when we was kids. We was like, man, my mom and my dad's so strict. And I think about it when I tell these stories, and I look at my kids who go nowhere without any type of supervision. Like, she don't even want to walk to the store half the time. You know what I mean? I got one that's 21, one's almost 17. They going by themselves? I'm like, it's the store. I mean, like, they're, you know, if they're not gonna go now.
Why are they like that though?
We had a lot of freedom, dude. Like, I didn't think about this till I got older. I'm like, I remember times I would go out, I would get up in the morning and I would take my bike out the basement and I won't come back home until 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Till 9 o'clock, yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm as much as I'm talking about how strict she was, I didn't have any freedom. There was no phone. Sometimes I call, maybe, you know. All the time I did, kids didn't die. She knew you would come home. Nobody was abducted or died. Nobody ever died when you was a kid. You know how many bad people and kids we knew, misfits and stuff like that? Nobody ever, there was no gay people. Nobody ever died. Nobody was ever abducted. Everybody made it home all the time. So it was like, you know, so I'm like, I had a lot more freedom than I actually think. And then when I think about the things I used to do while I was out for those 10 or 12 hours, I'm like, man, I done stopped over this chick house. I done hoop with these dudes. I hung out with the Crips.
We covered a lot of shit in the day, bro.
I done left. I done went home, took a nap. We went up to Coney Island and got some fries and a 2-liter. Then we walked up to Eastland. We was at Eastland for 2 hours, walking around, looking around. We left. And I'm like, I did all that in one day?
One day.
So, you know, you can, like Book said, keep your kids away from, and you will, because right now you're saying, well, I can't keep them away from it, but that you know.
Oh, no, Tom. Boy, look, bro. You got it.
Yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can. And you will.
Because my kid's mama, dog, is zero. Dog, she'll shoot you. Like I be talking all that shit, dog. They mama crazy, bro.
Right.
She out her shit. They stepmama crazy. The woman know it, she crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing is, dog, it's coming from a loving place. And like literally, I'm the last call. I'm literally the last call. Like before, like everybody tries to resolve everything before it get to me, which is weird because I'm actually the nice person. I would think I'm the first call, right. You know, because there's no thug in me at all. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know. So I would think I was the first call to resolve things peacefully, but I'm the last call. And you let all them tell it, oh man, because you be doing, I don't do shit. And nobody has proof of me doing anything other than what exactly was supposed to get done to resolve. You know what I'm saying? So, but in saying that, man, it's like
you're the Harvey Keitel character on Pulp Fiction. You come clean shit up.
I come and clean shit up. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, real shit. Like, you know, I'm the wolf. And, you know, the thing is, man, it's like you're too sharp. You know what I'm saying? And you're advanced. You know, even for yourself, like you shock the shit out of you. Right. So you're going to prevent certain things from taking place well before they're supposed to, even if you don't know you did it. And you're going to do it because it makes sense and it's supposed to happen.
I just know that the foolishness and the things I got myself into, it's only God and sheer luck that nothing never ever happened to me or me and Isaiah or when we were out doing anything. Because, like I said, the amount of times we got pulled over by the police driving a mile once to Mars.
Oh man, we supposed to got an ass whooping or something, but it just never happened.
People are dying on a regular basis coming in contact with the police nowadays. We were young, unsophisticated, like ghetto youth.
Well,
That's
there's something that no one knew. My dad is a sergeant.
okay.
So when they pull me up in the system, I have his name.
Okay.
So when they pull me up, he pulls up. And if I'm not actually doing nothing illegal, they're gonna let me go.
Okay.
You know, at that time. Now don't nobody give a fuck. He retired, he old. But at that time, yeah, Booker Snow wasn't a cop you really wanted to fuck
Okay.
around with. Like he was like training day.
Yeah. But I remember being over Isaiah house when he moved from Tepper. I
Hmm.
think it was like to what's his not Gunston, what was the other street?
Bradford or Goulburn.
Goulburn. I remember riding bikes over there and just
You
like
was on
wow.
Goldberg?
For years.
Where at?
Right off 6 Mile.
Word is bond. I was off of 7.
Okay. Yeah, I was right off of 6 Mile, about 5-6 houses off of 6 Mile.
That's what's up. Yeah, I went to the elementary school over there for a few years.
Okay.
And then before we moved.
Well, we moved, but we
Yeah.
only moved right around the corner to Westphalia. And then my mama lived there.
Okay.
She passed away last year. She was there for 26 years.
Word.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful strip, bro.
Yeah.
And just to speak on that, I just remember him navigating that neighborhood by himself though. Like I always had
Yeah.
Chris. I always had Chris in the house with me. So like but he was like by himself. Like so he had like we didn't come over all the time. Like you know what I'm saying? When we linked up, we hung out. Like but like for the most part, like he navigated a fucking like wild jungle. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's what I mean
Yeah.
about being savvy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be, because, it was situations where a lot of people were clicked up. They, like you said, they had somebody, they had
Hmm.
other individuals. It was just me. You know what I mean? So it was like, I have to make alliances. I have to make friends. I have to make smart and wise decisions, quality decisions in spot. So I think that a lot of that stuff attributed to the success that we find as adults because of the fact that those things were shaped in our youth, and that's like Book said, that's the reason why you're gonna probably do a good job of being able to make sure that your kids go down that road. A lot of times we feel like that our kids have to go down a particular road or write a passage because we did and we think it's good for them, but the shit wasn't good for us. I mean, we shouldn't have been doing it either. We should. You make it out of there by the skin of your teeth, and then you turn around and you throw somebody else into a ridiculous situation. You don't have the same type of experience with upbringing that you have. Your kids, I mean, you at home, fixing your kids' steaks, individual steaks, man. They get breakfast, man. They get
Yeah, that don't happen.
in nice cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't expect them to turn around and take them and throw them over on some damn Charmers or Seaburn somewhere talking about, y'all need to figure this out. This is what I had to do. Like, man, crazy, crazy, bro. Like, nigga, we stay in the suburbs. We have a nice car. We eat breakfast every day. We have cable television on all of our TVs throughout the house. We have 55-inch screen televisions. Like, you know what I'm saying? We have a mother and a father to stay with us. We have a whole family. Like, we don't come from a broken home. Stop trying to give us this damn fucked up experience that you came up with. We ain't them kids. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
You can't do that. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. And plus you keep trying to bottle yourself in with the regulars or the non-exceptions, and I don't think you can do that as well.
The other 90%.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Hey fellas, my battery dwindling down pretty quick.
So what we need to do, guys, is we need to come up with the name for what the podcast is going to be. I'm really good with organizing stuff, so I can make a Facebook group and put just the three of us in there for now under whatever name that we come up with.
Okay.
And we can, list all the broadcast times there so that we can see. And then once we get some content, we can open it to the public. You know what I mean? And we can maybe put the videos that we're posting on Zoom on there for now. I don't know anything about doing a podcast, so I will leave that to Book or to you to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can write up some background stuff. I think as far as direction and things of that nature, just listening to Thomas, man, like he's had some brilliant concepts for shows and for talking points, and I think they'll work. They're authentic, and just listening to him and some of the questions he even asks in the flow of it takes it in a direction where it's always progressive. so we don't stay stuck in the same spot. So I think that I'll write up some of the background, like business blase please, and send it to you guys, and we can kind of update that as we go too, and then we can combine, like you said, how you come up with the topics and where to find the show, things of that nature, and we just combine everything we come up with. And I think this should actually pop faster than we know.
Once we come up with the name, which we should do immediately, I can start the group and I'll put the three of us in there. And it'll be easier for us to communicate through the group, because then we'll be able to just and it'll be closed group just for us for now until we get our shit together. So it'll just be the three of us in there. So all the content about topics, if we ever want to have any guests on there, we can always invite them to be a part of the group so they can know the topics and the content that we've had, so they can always look through that. And then any type of talking points or any background or bios you can put in there, and then we can use that to be able to converse versus us trying to text on different timelines and things like that. If we're able to do that, and then everybody just stay peeled to the group, and then we can say, hey, we're gonna have our next show. Does this work on this day at this time or whatever? And we can say, yeah, and we can set our Zoom things up. We can record them, and then we'll have all of our talking points. You can moderate it or whatever. We'll go back and forth, and it'll just be easier to be able to do it like that. So what we'll do today is we'll all brainstorm on a name for it, text each other or whatever, and then once we come up with the definitive name that it's going to be, then tomorrow I'll go ahead and I'll start either later tonight or tomorrow I'll start making the group. And we'll start putting everything in there from there.
The book went out, but it's like it's just me and you. I'm
still here though.
Okay, I like provocative shit, right? I'm thinking like exceptional N-words. Like that's just the word. That's just the name of it. Exceptional, like N-words, like how people say like the N-word. I think that should be wild.
All right.
I like that.
That shit's funny. I ain't got no problem with that, man. I'm actually good with that shit.
But like I said, we can put together a top 5 or top 10 and just vote it down or whatever the case. Like I just like things that are funny, because like at the same time it's serious, but then it's not serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So if we're ever doing a podcast, like I'm kind of like Charlemagne a little bit. Like I'm a asshole with I know some stuff, but then I'm not too serious, but then I'm super serious about certain things. So it's all relative depending on how things are going. And somebody else has got to be the Rory in the mall, or the DJ FNN, or the serious guy, which both of y'all are way more serious than me, but and perception of who I am and who people think I might be, or who people think Isaiah might be. Like, I know the guy. Like, I know he's a slime ball too, deep down in there something too. So, like, but everybody else don't know these things about him.
Right.
You feel me? Like, these are things that bros know about each other. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The world know he's a married for 20-some year guy and he's a model father. That's cool, because that is him. But he was Anakin before. I mean, he was Darth Vader at one point too. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's all of us. I didn't ever see myself being this guy. I'm fucking Carl Winslow at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like that is no bullshit.
Like I told Book, when he's talking about his music before you logged in, right now we have a captive audience in the world. I mean, everybody's looking for something to listen to, something to do. People aren't working right now. Everybody's homebound. Everybody's on social media all day, every day. People's sleep patterns is all fucked up. So everybody's looking for something to engage in. So, I mean, if you ever want to be able to promote something, now is the time to be able to do it. You'll never have a time like this ever again in life. You know what I mean? So it's something that we definitely want to have some forward emotion on. If it turns out to be something great, fantastic. If it turns out to be something that's just fun for us and a couple other people that like to tune in and laugh and listen, then that's fine too. I think when you approach it with that level of casualness about it, you know what I'm saying, then it tends to steamroll into something big anyway. I mean, that's how my music was. Back in the day, I was pushing, want to be famous, want to get a deal, Then it was like, it was hard. But then when we started, it's like, you know what? Let's just make music because we enjoy doing it. The songs and the projects turned out way better.
Move.
You know what I'm saying?
It just move and it just work.
Yep. So it's something to do for us right now, and we gotta. The world is our captive audience right now. With, you know what I'm saying, everybody looking for something to do. And like I said, as long as the topics are provocative and just engaging, you know what I mean, and controversial, people will always log in, whether they hate you, whether they love it, or people that's scared to comment on their own shit or bring it up themselves. you the bad guy. You brought it up. So now I can engage and that's what people like to do anyway, man. People love that shit. That's the reason why First Take, Speak for Yourself, you know what I mean? Undisputed, all those shows, they just take off because it's just people that's just being genuine. These guys get an opportunity to talk about something they love, and that's just sports. You know? So imagine if they was talking about everything.
And you know, we are down to just talk shit. So
yeah. So
and what's better than doing that with somebody? What's better to do that than with somebody that you really fuck with and people that you could be like? Just like if me and Isaiah sat in my basement and drank beers and talked about all kind of shit. Like it's the same difference. Like I'm not about to hold no punches. Like I'm gonna say some shit in one vein, and people might look like this nigga got to be the worst nigga walking around. But then at the same time, I'm also the same nigga that's like, we need to get our shit together and hold each other down and take care of each other. But also, I'm still like, fuck that nigga though, right there. Like fuck him. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's people. Because nobody's perfect. Like nobody fits into everything. Like I made a statement about like all black people don't have to agree about the same thing for us to all to make it, but we have to be aligned to a certain degree.
Common goal.
But we don't have to agree about everything, but we have to be aligned. Like we all have to know like we black, and the best thing for black people is certain things. This is not good for black people. I don't have to agree with every last one of your points, but we have to know like we got to be respecting each other. We got to be loving each other.
Yeah, it's common goal. Like it's nothing wrong with having common goal, but yet having a different directive or a different perspective in how to reach the goal. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as it still has the end game in mind. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But at the same time, you got niggas like, no, fuck that shit. If this little Jerry curl head ass nigga right here, you know, go. You know, it's the same mindset, man. Everybody want to be on the same page, but don't nobody want to be on the same page. So.
It's just like heaven. Everybody ain't gonna be able to get in.
Nope.
It's like VIP at the club. Everybody can't get in, baby. Isaiah done seen how the club should. Like I took a real serious martial arts promoter and had him doing live cockfighting at the nightclub on Wednesday night. Like he was every Wednesday night. He's like, I've never seen no shit like this in my life.
Yeah.
Look forward to every week. I look forward to it every week, man. I was having this discussion the other day, man, with my wife, man, about one of them dudes that got beat up. And he just kept getting mad because I kept stopping it, you know, to give him like the standing 3 count. He kept getting mad. I'm straight. And then after it was over, he came over to me on the side. He said, man, you did a terrible job of defending me, man. I said, I kept stopping it. And he taught me a life lesson. He taught me a life lesson in that moment. Don't listen to people. You got to do what you're supposed to do. This dude, he was like, every time he was getting his ass beat. And I was like, whoa, and I was stopping me. Man, get your hands off me, man. I'm straight, dog. I'm straight, man. Quit stopping me. And I decided, like, when it was over with, he pulled me to the side on some real talk stuff. It was like, man, you did a terrible job of defending me, man, protecting me. I said, you said you were straight. You told me to let you go. And I was like, you know what? Thank you. In this moment, thank you. Because I allowed you to let me, you know, listen to your bullshit when I knew damn well what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So
you're the professional.
I'm the professional, right? You know, he there, his people looking on the side. He got his, you know, girls out there, whatever. But if he like, look, nigga, I ain't trying to get hurt for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep saying that like your boy used to hold you back when you were trying to fight this dude that you knew.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, no, don't let me go. No, I know I said let me go, but it's supposed to be you continue to hold me back the whole time. This is all I have. I can't beat this guy. You know what I'm saying?
We wasn't sanctioned by no fucking body, like no kind of governing body or nothing. And these guys don't realize that this guy is a fucking real black belt. This is a real thing that he does for real. I'm just Vince McMahon at this point. I'm providing entertainment on a slow night at our nightclub, and I know we can pack like 400 or 500 people in here, and this shit is gonna be fucking crazy, and it's gonna be live on the radio, and people was like, "What are y'all doing over there?" Like, it's just what it was. Till like the FCC didn't want to air the shit, like, cause they like, "What is going on over there?" They couldn't understand it. Like Fight Night, what is that? I wish we had the content to put up on on a like YouTube or something. Like I don't know where the video is, but all the fights got video.
This is the most Detroit shit I've ever heard in my life. I love
It was great, man.
I love it, man. Y'all had me real shit like, damn, I wish I was home during that time, man.
It was wild. It was wild.
Because I'm sitting up here on Instagram. No, you was posting it on Facebook, and I'm sitting up here like, fuck, man. Dog.
What they don't know is I was leaving my legitimate business, my actual school, closing my school up, my classes at 7 or 8 o'clock that night, and then I was driving straight over there to the club. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like, I'm leaving this where people do this for real to come here and watch these guys do it. It was great, man. It was.
And we had strippers and everything there though. It was a strip club and a regular club because it had a dual license, so we could do both things. So like people are getting lap dances while these people are in there beating the shit out of each other, and they're probably high off drugs. Nobody signed no waivers, no mouthpieces, no headgear. Like niggas in there just with gloves on, like 12-ounce gloves, raw dog. Like
I love it.
We'd have promoted it for 2 weeks, and then like it's time to get it on. Like people had real street beef a couple times, and they brought it to the ring. Like it was some real Vince McMahon shit. And the white dude Tom that he met a couple times, like he just was like dog, like I made him so much money. Like he used to just be giving me money. Like dude, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like this shit is just working. Like whatever you want to do. Remember downtown? Like you came downtown before I was there. Like you seen that was something different. Like that was like Soul Train on steroids. Like it was just something completely, utterly different. It was no way I could have had a family when I was doing that. It was impossible. It wasn't feasible. And this guy shows up with his wife every time he comes, and I'm looking at him like,
smart man.
Like,
smart
what?
Man. That's
like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Smart man. Your boy went shopping and kept all the receipts. Smart man. Fuck that.
He shows up with the wife every time. I'm thinking like, dude, like I told you to fall through. Like, what is going on?
Hey, he did. Shit.
She wasn't going for that bullshit. She knew what time it was.
Hell yeah.
I want to see.
Perfect. Hey, I gotta jump off y'all because I got a few more calls to make before the day.
I gotta get off too. I gotta teach my class shortly, but we'll work on that. I got the one name written down, man. I think that's gonna be a good start. We'll come up with about 3 or 4 more. We'll vote on one.
Okay.
We'll just get it going from there, man. And we'll I make the group. We'll pick a day where we're gonna air these or whatever, and get some topics together and go from there.
Bet.
My man. See y'all later.
All right, peace, fellas.
All right, we'll talk.